everyone, it's Jen. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today I am coming on with some project shares for Scrap Diva Designs. I made these projects with dies from the May release. So all the dies will be linked below in the description box. My referral link will also be there. If you place an order through that link, I do get a commission from the sale. So I appreciate it so much when you guys use that. It doesn't affect your cost at all, just helps me out. And of course you can use my coupon code at checkout, which is strawberry cream, and that'll save you 10%, and that's at scrapdivadesigns.com. All right, so all the projects I made this time are kind of like a groovy 70s theme. A lot of the dies are like piece theme and retro, so I thought it'd be fun to just make a few for one video. So the first die set I used is this one, and this is the Peace Sign mini album. So it comes with all of these dies. So the peace sign, of course, is a frame, so you can make it into a shaker if you want, which I did. And then it comes with this circle that's stitched to go as the base of that if you wanted. You know, if you want to make a shaker, you'd use that as like the background and the acetate. It also comes with these flower dies too, and there's 3 of them. There's the background, the stitched inner layer, and then the more detailed inner layer. And you can use this as a frame for your peace sign, which I did. You can use it separately if you want to. So lots of different options for this. I did use, I did make mine into a card, which, you know, I love to do with mini albums. So this is the card that I made, and it's really nice and big, as you could see. I love all the different layers. So let's start with the shaker. I cut the peace sign out of pattern paper, and then also some Walmart foam board, and then I used that background piece to cut the acetate, and then the paper behind that. And that paper I had recently picked up at not Hobby Lobby, Joann's, which I'd shown you in a haul, but it's by Jen Hadfield, and it's Flower Child. I picked those papers up specifically for these projects because I knew that they were kind of retro. And then I did some like fussy cutting and cut out the word happiness from that paper and just made like a little sentiment for the front. I filled in the different section of the shakers with shaker bits that I thought went nicely, like these clay flowers. They kind of like go back to the flower shape in the background. And then just like sequins and confetti, and did I use diamond dots? I don't think so, just different size sequins in this one, but they all, you know, color coordinate with the different elements of the card. And then let's see, these flowers, these come from another new die set in the release, which is this one, which is the Retro Van mini album, and it does come with flower dies, which are on the inside of this, but that's what I used to cut out these flowers. And I like them because they're flat, and I thought that they would go nicely on the top of a card. Since it's already raised up from the shaker, I didn't want to add too much dimension, so I like that these are flat flowers, even though that they're, you know, they're 2 different layers. And they're, you know, very retro, good for 70s, and they, of course, go back to the flower shape in the background as well. This is a puffy sticker from, I think this is from Jen Hadfield as well. I put my sticker pack away, but I think it's a Flower Child puffy sticker pack. And I added sequins and a confetti to the middle of the flowers, just to give them, you know, just to tie back to the shaker bits inside the card. And then for the flower part, I just used 3 different colors of solid paper, and these are AC cardstock. There's a pale blue, kind of like a yellowy orange, and then a darker blue. And again, those colors go back to the colors in the rest of the project. So this one, let's see, the diameter of this big flower it's about 5 3/4 inches, so it's really nice and big. The peace sign is about 4 1/4 inches. So it would make a lovely mini album. Of course, that's what it was designed for, but I had to make it into a card. And then to open it up, I made just like a little hinge, which is kind of my layering pieces are kind of getting a little smushed here. But I made a little hinge for the inside of the card, and just cut out another layering piece from, these are other Jen Hadfield papers from Flower Child as well. I wasn't sure what to put on the inside, so I didn't put anything yet. But yeah, that's how it looks, and that's the back of it. And I think it came out really cute. My little hinge, I should have put up a little bit higher, because when it's too low, then it kind of bends the top part of your card, but it's just a little bit, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I thought it came out so cute, and I thought this would be appropriate for just, you know, any kind of like card you want to send to a friend, just a, you know, birthday, or just wishing them well or thinking of you kind of card. And it would be especially fun to somebody who's like my age, who was, you know, alive in the 70s. So anyway, that's my first project. And let's move on to the next one. So the next one I made, oh, this is fun too. This is called the Cute Gift Box. And it comes with all of these dies. Looks like a lot of pieces, but most of them are layering pieces. It's really easy to put together. This is the main piece, and you cut this out twice, put them together on the glue tabs, and there's a bottom piece. This is the bottom, so it makes it into like a hexagon-shaped gift box. And then this is a layering piece for the bottom. These are all layering pieces for the various parts. And then these make kind of like a little holder for a straw to go in the center of your gift box. So I used that, and let's see. I also used, this is an older release, but I wanted kind of a flat bow again. So this is the bow bag topper number 2 small. It's, like I said, an older release, but I will link it down below in case you don't have this yet and you want to pick up this bow, which I think went really well with this project. And I used a couple of the circles from this die set, which is also new, and this is called the flower doily. I didn't use any of the doily parts, but these are just a great nesting set to have, or this is a great nesting set to have, because you always need like circles, and I did for this project, so I will show you that. And then I used the smiley face from this die set, which is also new. It's called the Retro Shaker Keychain. I did make some keychains too, but for this next project, I just used the smiley face. All right, so let's get on with the show, and I will show you my little gift box. And it is just so cute and fun, I think. And the papers I used mostly for this one come from a new paper pad that I just picked up from Michael's. I showed in my last Friday haul. Let me just move you over there. And this is called Candy Brights from Craftsmith. It was on sale for $4.99. Normal price is $9.99. But I thought that the, you know, colors and just different shapes and squiggles and stuff, I thought it was kind of funky and reminded me of like the 70s. So that's why I used that. And isn't this cool, the way the inside of the box goes? Probably Nicole designed this. She's just such a great designer, and she really knows how things work, you know, how they're going to work. So it's just a beautifully designed box. So let me just take you through the construction of it. I used some blue paper, and I used this paper here is that like 67-pound paper I got from Walmart, and I like it for 3D projects like this because I knew I would have to like do some bending on the inside of it here, and so I didn't want it to be too stiff. I also knew it was going to be layered, so yeah, I wanted to use something that wasn't too stiff. That's why I used that, and it worked out really well. For the layering pieces for the sides of the box, I used the Candy Brights paper. And then these are pre-made rosettes that I got from either Michael's or Hobby Lobby quite a while ago. And I was just looking through my sticker bin, and I found those there, and I thought that they would go perfectly on this project, especially because some of the edges have that like holographic silver paper, which is what I use for like these, the top part of the box, which comes from this. So that's what the box looks like. And then the center of the box is designed for a straw to go down it, and that's why you have these dies here, and a straw, like a normal straw, fits perfectly inside those. And you just cut all these out at once. There's, 10 of those, stack them together, and so you have like a tiny little tube, which I'll show you, you glue into the bottom of the box. So for my straw, I mean, you could put whatever you want up here. You could do like place settings or a wand, rosettes, whatever you want to do. But I just made this cute little daisy, and I used these cupcake wrappers or baking cups from Wilton. I had picked these up on clearance from Target. It was in the Easter section. It was 90% off, so it was like 44 cents. And they were just sitting on my desk, and I was thinking, oh, doesn't that look like, you know, like a daisy? And, you know, flower power and all that. So that's why I used that for this. And here's where I used a couple of those circles from the flower doily set. But these scalloped circles, those are from a different die in my stash. Here's the Here's the smiley face, and I thought it just looked so cute there. I made a shaker and filled it up with some, coordinating shaker bits, and just kind of, layered all my flowers. And I stuck my straw through the cupcake wrapper. I had punched a hole with my crocodile, and then once I put the straw through it, I just globbed on some hot glue so it would stay. And then I used hot glue to stick these circles also into the cupcake wrapper. Here's that bow from that bag topper. It just looks really nice, I think. I added a little sticker here from Hobby Lobby. And then this is a Hooray piece of ephemera from one of the Crate Paper birthday collections. And it's just fun, I think. It would make a great centerpiece. It would make a really fun gift box. I mean, it is a gift box, so. But you don't have to make it a gift box. It could just be just a centerpiece, I think. Any theme you want, of course. So to open it up, you could just take your straw out like that, and it just stuck into the circles really well. So that's why it just kind of popped out like that. And then you just open it up like this. And it looks like it's complicated, but it's not, because the way it's designed, it just works really well together. And there are tutorials. I'm sure they're linked on the product page. I think Erica had made one, and there's probably other people too. So this is what the gift box looks like. And on the inside, so you could see those circles, and it's like just 10 circles glued together. And then I glued it into the center of the gift box. And on the die, the layering die, it does have like an embossed detail, so you know exactly where to put them, so your straw will be perfectly placed in the center when you go to put it in there. And yeah, that's the way it looks. It's so cute, I think. It's really nice and sturdy too. Let's measure this. The box itself, well, I'll measure it all the way from the top. That is about just a little bit over 5 inches. And then let's say each panel is about 2 1/4 inches. So at the widest part, it is about almost 2.5 or 4.5, sorry. And then to close it up, you push all these. Well, let's put the straw in first. Okay, so you put your straw in, and it depends on the straws you have. Like I have a few different kinds, and the first one I wanted to use, it was a little bit too big to fit into there. So this is like a Dollar Tree straw, and it fits perfectly. So you just take your straw and just push it down into that center there. And I probably shouldn't have put tails on my bow, because they get stuck when I try to push the box down. So if you're going to do this, just be careful about what you have hanging down from your straw. Anyway, then you just kind of push the petals down, and they kind of hug the straw like that. So that's how that looks. Cute, right? So I won't measure the top, because that's the thing I made. That doesn't come with the die set. But anyway, that's how that looks. And I thought it was just so fun and cute. So that's my next project. And let's move on to the last one. Just going to move things over a little bit. Put this, well, he's got to go back there a little bit. Okay, so like I had mentioned, I did make some of these retro keychains. And this was so fun to make, because I made a couple of the shakers. I did the flower and the peace sign. I didn't do the smiley face one, but I made like 2 different color palettes. So let me show you the first one. So this is the peace sign one, and I used that Jen Hadfield paper in the background, and then just used some coordinating papers for the frame, for the peace sign. And for the shaker bits, I used flowers, of course. I thought that went with the whole flower power theme. And then I had this keychain and ring in my stash. I think it was from Creative Mojo Wholesale Studio from back in the day. And then I made this little this bead accessory for the keychain, which I got from Temu, these like beading poles, I think they're called. And I just used some like fun kind of like retro colored beads from my stash. This one I wanted to make the focal point, and then this is a charm that I got from Hobby Lobby, and it did have like one of those like I don't know what they're called, those little like closure that you just pull back. I took that off and just put it on a jump ring, so it would fit through that bottom hole of the bead pole. And then here I just did a couple of ribbons, folded them in half, and used one of those like ribbon crimpers that I've had also from Creative Mojo Wholesale Studio for a long time, and just in coordinating colors. And then I made this cute little accessory for the keychain. These are acrylic blanks from Temu, and then I added some cold transfer vinyl stickers from Hobby Lobby to those. And then I added some colored jump rings for some of them, just to make it feel, you know, really fun and colorful and whimsical. And I think this would make a really cute keychain or like a bag charm or something like that, even to go on a planner. So that's the first one, and that color combination. The second one I made is very similar, and I'll measure the keychain, the die cut after I show you this. So this one is more like pinks and purples. So again, I used one of those keychain blanks from Creative Mojo Wholesale Studio. Here's the flower one that I made, and this is my favorite purple, like glittery, shimmery paper that I'd gotten on clearance at Michael's a while back. And then just added some coordinating shaker bits, just some like clay hearts and diamond dots and a little flower in the center. Here's another one of those like beading pole thingies I made with some Temu beads, these frosted moon beads I got from Walmart recently, and another charm from Hobby Lobby. And this charm is actually the inspiration for the colors and the rest of it. I just wanted to use this charm, so I used purples and the coral and pink and aqua in the rest of the colors. And then I made another one of those little ribbon dangle thingies. And then this I made from a rub-on transfer from, let's see if I have, yes, from Pink Paisley. And I've had this for a long time. I don't even know where I got it. And so you can use your rub-on transfers on your acrylic blanks too, and they work out really well. And of course I picked Good Vibes to go with the whole, you know, 70s kind of theme. Even though it's not 70s, I thought it went with this anyway. It's got the flowers on it, and it does say Good Vibes. So, all right, let's measure this flower. And this measures, let's say across, it's about 2 1/4 by about the same. And these keychains have this loop that's die cut on them, so you can easily add them to a keychain. I should have mentioned that, they all do. And the peace sign is about 2 inches across. So just really fun. I think they'll be a great addition to projects, or, you know, all the ones that I mentioned, and they make like nice sounds, and they're just really cute, I think. And you can make them out of different materials. You can make them out of faux leather if you want to, just to make them a little bit more sturdy for a keychain, but I think they'd be nice, like, you know, just the way they are like this with the papers. So that's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed these projects. I will link all of the dies that I used down below in the description box. My referral link is there. And my coupon code, Strawberry Cream, save yourself 10%. Why not, right? And that's it for now. I'll be back soon with more crafty videos. I hope you enjoyed. And please give this video a thumbs up if you did. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.